that is known as the Dub Feet Podcast Variety Hour, etc. Conversations with everything.
Hello.
That made no sense, but it's I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, please, you got
Because
it.
it's the Dub Feet Variety Hour podcast. The variety is within the intros that I do because it's never the same intro ever.
Exactly. And you got to keep people on their toes, you know?
Bingo.
So,
Bingo.
Damien, you have some breaking news for us?
I'm pregnant.
With a French baby, apparently.
PRS cargo. Yes, I have finally lifted the curse that has been the job that has brought me misery for not the 3 years I worked it there, but at least within the last year that I've worked there. The curse has been broken.
He's done it, guys.
420 Kent is no more in my life.
And you know what? We got it.
Great feeling.
We have to share a little bit. Obviously, I know, but not a lot of people do know that are listening.
Yeah.
But, this was obviously a long time coming.
Oh, 100%.
And it was, I think, the last day that you were there, which was, what day was that?
Last Saturday, yeah.
Last Saturday. Which they pulled some, I don't know if they say they pulled some shady shit, but I guess it's a norm in your company.
So essentially, they pulled some crap on me back in April. This is after I called the union on them for multiple reasons. I was actually looking at my emails and I saw, because, I pretty much had them dead to rights on like 4 or 5 different reasons of their bullshit. So anyways, I sent that to the union. The next day, my boss is like, "Really? You called the union? I'm just surprised that you would do something like this. But you don't stick around. You don't do OT. You don't help out around here." I'm like, first of all, that's all bullshit because I spent my first 2 years helping out a lot, and I think at the 3rd year mark, I was more than owed a reason to not. I was owed more of a reason to say no more often than not because I had done it so many times. Anyways, within a week, the same shit that I've seen other employees do. Their relief did not show up. Technically, the rule is, it is technical in our contract. The rule is that we're supposed to stay if somebody doesn't show up. However, within our building, everybody has been putting the overnight porter, and the overnight porter doesn't fucking mind because then he doesn't have to work. He just hangs out at the desk.
Right.
So that's what everybody has been doing for a good chunk of the time I've been at the job. I decide to do it, and they bring down the hammer on me. I get a nasty email saying you have to answer for this. You abandoned your post. You da-da-da-da-da-da. You're not... and mind you, this is on my days off that they sent me this. I remember
that the last time was on your day off.
I think I screenshot and sent it to you.
And then you responded, which was great. It was something in the line of like, "I'll take care of this, not on my day," or refrain yourself from messaging me on my days off.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
No, I said straight up, please refrain from harassing me on my day off.
That's right, because they were harassing, because they were waiting for a response.
They're like, you need to answer now, you need to respond back now, and you need to answer for why you did it. You need to explain yourself immediately. Mind you, I was enjoying myself with my family. We're over at this place right on a Metropolitan in the hipster Mecca, Williamsburg.
Right.
We're all enjoying some food outside. It's a fucking gorgeous sunny day in April. And we get into the car as we're heading out. I've got a nice little buzz, and I see this, and I'm just like, yo, I'm going to call this motherfucker and tell him I quit. If this is how you're going to behave and treat me for something that I've, that everybody's done, and suddenly if I do it, it's a problem, I'm going to just tell you, go fuck yourself, and I'm done here. My sister and brother-in-law, my brother-in-law was like, yeah, maybe you should do that. My 2 nieces in the car, it's like, quit your job. My sister's like, I don't know about that. It's probably not the smartest move to do right now. I think you should, sleep on it, think about it, maybe respond to them, but like, take a deep breath. And I'm like, I was furious. I was also a little drunk, so I was ready to literally call him and just, hey, Bob, just go fuck yourself. I'm done here.
Right.
But I didn't. I emailed them back. I broke down everything to them. Within the midst of me not responding, they attached the boss's boss into the email, who was like Spitzer's right-hand guy to the whole... Because Spitzer owns the building.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is one of Spitzer's buildings, sadly.
Oh, fuck me.
I mean, he's nicer than my boss, but that's just on a surface level. I don't know if it's just him being cordial. But anyways, I digress. His right-hand guy is my boss's boss. And that's how I know they were trying to dick me around even further, because they attached him to the email. And then he started getting even more nasty with me. Sounds like you don't want to be here. Sounds like he wasn't wrong. I'm pretty sure that's exactly the tone of the email that I sent back.
Right.
But then as he's like, you still didn't take the time to explain what happened that day. So then I loosely humbled myself, and I was like, I understand where you're coming from. This is what I did. I left at this time. It has been done by several employees, so I assumed it wouldn't be a problem, and I left that. If that is what the issue is here right now, I admit to the fault of that, and I accept whatever consequences come from that. I wasn't throwing in the towel, but I was saying, if this is what you're saying I'm in trouble for, I'm admitting to it. This is the breakdown of what day occurred.
Right.
So that's when that boss, he was like, listen, we understand. We'll chalk this up to just a misunderstanding for the first time. Now that things are back to loosely normal post-pandemic, we're trying to get everything going properly in the building again. Just so you know, going forward, if there's an occasion where people call out, you just need to stay. That's just the rule. It is what it is. I'm like, all right, I get it. I understand. No problem. And ever since then, the guy, I mean, I've talked about this full circle back to the call out. This was a recurring factor with my fellow employee, the overnight guy. Let's just call him Jim.
But this was all the time. This was going on for over a year.
Before this, he was literally, I think he probably called out every Saturday for 2 months.
So that means that every Saturday you were staying?
No, fuck no.
Okay.
I was refusing to, and then I was getting forced to. So, and that's when I was getting forced to, that's when I was getting pissed off. It's
right.
Like, I shouldn't have to do this because I've done this enough. My first week there, when I first got the job, is like, so you're gonna have to do a double and do an overnight at the other building. I was like, I just started. Okay. I guess I'll just do a double.
Right.
And that was like the first test of the building. Different super at the time, but I was a new guy, and I expected there'd be things like that to happen. So flash forward to this Saturday, Jim decides I forgot his fake name for a second.
I think you went with Jim. Yeah.
I almost said his real name. Like, So Jim decides to call out as he used to old time. The great thing about the call, I'll give you the breakdown
please.
and the playback of how it went down. So he calls me. It's like 5:00. You're supposed to call out 5 hours before your shift starts, which he was playing all the cards right. He was doing his thing, and nothing against him for calling out, because I know people do that. And within me caring very little, I have called out my share. That same week, I called out on Thursday because I was hungover. I could have gone to work. I didn't feel like working hungover.
You also never called out the same fucking day for 2 months straight.
Oh, no, for sure. This is the first time I ever called out on a Thursday. I've called out mostly on Saturdays to extend my weekend.
Right.
But that's besides the point. That's neither here nor there. So anyways, he calls me. He's like, hey, D, I'm not doing so good. He's actually the inspiration of Detective Stewart's voice. Yeah.
Okay.
D, I'm not doing so good. I got the diarrhea. I'm like, oh, it's all good, man. Don't, feel better. I'm sorry, D. No, don't worry about it. No, I'm really sorry, D. I'm sorry. All right, I'll take care. This time, because of the many times that he's called me to call out, I've given him so much grief back. Like the last time, he's like, oh, you'll understand. Like one time he called out and he was like, you'll understand one day when you have kids. And I was so pissed that he called out that I said, well, if I keep getting stuck here, I probably will never have them. So he's like, oh, D, you're making me feel bad now. So ever since I said that shit to him, anytime he's called out, he's like super apologetic and like, oh, sorry. So I was just crying. Like after he apologized like 15 times, I'm like, don't worry about it, man. You might have just, in my mind, I'm like, you might have just given me a reason to quit tonight. Let's see how this ball starts rolling.
But you said he has another job that he does on that.
Yeah.
What you don't mind me asking, but what you know what he does?
It's something in the city. It might be just like front desk concierge type thing or security.
Is it at the same time, or is it like it was supposed to be like right after?
It's like right after. So like he usually does the 11 to 7, and then from 7 he travels into the city. So I think his next job starts at 8 or something.
I see. Okay.
I respect his hustle, man. He's
like but at the same time
60,
you're fucking
like,
people over.
Exactly, and then he gets the leeway with management if he has a job. So
which we'll get to in a second.
Yes, bingo. Did you check in with the boss, let him know that you called out? And he's like, oh, I'll tell him now. Okay, cool. He texts him. Typically, the boss waits till the last minute.
Okay.
And
they'll wait till the last minute to tell you?
Hey, da-da-da. But this time, as soon as Jim texted him or told him, the boss texted me asking me if I could stay. I'm not doing extra work for a company that can't appreciate me, so I was not staying. Under no circumstances was I going to.
You're also glaring over one of the big elephants in the room, which is that a position opened up for a higher role and was given to a cousin.
It was given to a brother.
A brother, excuse me.
To the handyman that already came in late and is making full pay. To the brother who is also making full pay, taking over a position for the Boy Scout that we had, who quit on good terms, was the hardest worker there, trained most of everybody, and he's making more money. And I got a good one about him not too long after this. I got a quick little snippet about him.
Okay.
Just because he's a little fucking piece of shit. But anyways, that's one of many things that's rubbed me the wrong way. Another thing is they changed schedules for the favorited and the ass kissers, Jim and Luanda. You know, Luanda. I like her name better as Luanda because when I say her real name, I just want to punch her in the face. But anyways, I digress.
I'm trying to figure out which one it is, but it's the only girl that works there, right?
No, there's two. There's.
Well, you could say the real name. You'll edit it out, right?
Yeah, I could drop the volume.
Yeah.
Gabby's the one but she's cool. She's come around. She understood.
Okay.
She's realized how miserable I've grown over time. That like even today she texted me. She's like, "Hey, I understand why you left. I'm just really gonna miss you here because we had a good vibe and we always worked well together. And you know it sucks that you're gone." So
Right.
And she would get panicky when I'd call out on her, which always made me feel bad. But it's like if I'm gonna call out, it's to the benefit of me, not to the fuck you over.
Right.
Or to the.
Is that the one that talks shit about you though?
No.
Okay, that's the other one.
That's the guy in East Bitch. Yes.
All right.
So
now
this
I'm caught. Go ahead.
So she reached her and Ernesto. I'm just gonna start saying names.
Yeah, who gives a fuck at this point? You can also bleep them out. Yeah,
I could. I don't even have to.
Do you think they're gonna listen to this shit?
No.
Even if he does, they go suck each other's dicks. Anyway, go ahead.
They can dick ride each other because they're already riding the boss's dick.
And they'll probably be on a Saturday when they call out again.
Exactly. So, anyways, we get a notice that's posted. And my fellow shit talker employee, he's like the gossip queen at my job. And yes, I use queen because he hears one thing and he spreads it like wildfire. But he loves to do it. He's this Italian dude he's super chill, but he loves to spread any information. So on my day off, he texts me a photo of the effective immediately. Here are the new schedule changes.
Okay.
So he sends me this. I'm already rubbed the wrong way by so many things happening in the past. The 3 different shifts that were up for grabs, none were given to senior staff. So that was already like, I got it. Anybody that has been here is not going to be given anything. There's no potential for growth. There's no potential for change. You're just trapped in a fucking jail cell. And that's how I started to feel. Every Tuesday became more miserable, not for any particular reason, but just the fact that I'd have to be there.
Right. You were there how many years?
3.
Okay.
Going past 3 in October.
Wow.
I was tempted to quit in October. I've hit 3. It's time to go. So, but anyways, Alex, he sends me a picture of the new schedule. RT has a perfect schedule. The schedule that, mind you, the girl, the position who she took over for,
right?
The girl was pleading with management to change her schedule because she needed to balance out childcare with her
so
schedule.
She
got fired.
She didn't want to quit.
No,
she was just saying, please work on my schedule.
Please work with me. If you could figure something out, maybe you could talk to everybody else and we could figure something out.
And they
fired her.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So now
this
girl came in. She was supposed to be working on the weekends with me to balance out the stress of the summertime.
Right.
Granted, my weekend shifts, they would kind of alternate between necessarily needing 2 people and then it's just dead as fuck. So
okay.
Kind of my previous boss, he was trying to work on like me giving him times to figure that out when it was necessary. But anyways, I digress. That's whether here nor there. She was supposed to be in that position to balance things out with me, etc. And I'm the one that trained her too. So anyways, because she likes to kiss ass and always do doubles and dick ride as much as she likes, she gets a nice little schedule where she's got all morning. She's off Friday, Saturday, and she's not even a senior employee. Ernesto, same deal. He has been getting his usual days off were Wednesday, Thursday. He now has Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and he does all his overnights. And then the new kid that was doing the overnight love song, he's the friend of another coworker, good guy doing the overnights.
Okay.
His schedule gets completely changed over. He's the one that got screwed in the whole thing too, to the point where now he's quitting.
Really?
So now it's 2 people that's going to be fucked out.
Is that for sure though?
I heard he gave us 2 weeks. I haven't confirmed, but I heard from another coworker, so I don't know. Likely true. I hope it is, because I just want to watch this place fucking go to the shitter, which it's continually done in little spoonfuls, and this might be a good old cupful. So, anyways, these schedule changes happen. It rubbed me the wrong way, but at the same time, it didn't affect me that much. It just annoyed me further. It's like, okay, we see who's kissing the most ass. sucking the most dick, giving the most rim jobs at the job. So I'm not about that.
Right.
Never been about that. I'll be nice and cordial. I'll be sometimes a little over respectful, and then I catch myself going like, why am I even being nice to this fucking person? But I'm not going to kiss fucking ass. I'm not going to be like, yeah, I should have done this. Oh, no, I volunteered to do 18 hours of overtime this week because you don't know how to do your job. I'm just going to be like, no, sorry, I got plans.
So,
and that's what I've been doing.
So, although Ernesto will call out every Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm. Which he stopped doing since January.
Okay.
But he did it consistently to the point where everybody was like, is he sick? Is he dying? And I'm literally like, no, he just doesn't give a fuck because he's got another job and he wants to put everybody in a position where they're screwed, but doesn't care because he's got his other job.
But throughout his week,
yeah,
he does overtime. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think he does. I think with him it's that's the case I don't understand. Maybe because he's just a tall, broody, pushing 60-year-old Italian dude that has been tenured in the union.
So you're saying just because he has basically seniority, they're just being like,
he's got seniority within the union, so they just kind of leave him alone. Yeah, essentially.
Well, real fair. But anyway,
exactly. It's like, okay, this makes sense. How? But anyways, he calls out. The boss asked me to stay. I tell him, like I've heard many other people say and do, I said I have a job. I have another engagement. It doesn't matter what it is, but let me test the water. See what he says if I have a job outside of this job, because Ernesto gets to escape because of his alternative job.
Right.
I say I have a job that I'm doing literally after I get out of work into the morning. So unfortunately, I can't. So he doesn't text me back for a little bit. He says, "Okay, I'll ask a few people." All right, I asked these people. They're a no-go. Man, it's looking like if nobody can do it, you might have to stay. Hey, I asked the last person. She can't do it. You're going to have to stay. This happens like in a span of maybe 4 hours. So the texts keep trickling in. Mm-hmm. I keep looking at my phone. I'm texting people. I'm talking to you via text. And I'm just like, I guess today's going to be the day. Because initially what I had planned is I was going to quit around Thanksgiving.
Right.
Because I was like, I wasn't going to do the hassle of taking time off for Thanksgiving. And I was going to just accumulate a little more money from them and then just deuces. Give them literally a 2 weeks, a 1 day notice. That was going to be their Thanksgiving surprise with their stuffing and all that. It was going to be a nice little letter on their door, on the office door and on the office desk, because I have two bosses.
Right.
Both who dick ride each other. Just wanted to add that factor in there. So anyways, I determine on my break, I think I'm done here. So I go into my locker room. I'm taking all the stickers off my locker. I'm gathering all the stuff that's mine. I'm throwing my shoes in a bag. I'm like, okay, I can get rid of this. I can get rid of that. All my work clothes are just stuffed in the locker. And I'm just like, all right, if I'm going to do it, I'm ready to do it.
Right.
So it's all ready to happen.
By the way, did you had to buy a uniform, or is it you just had to buy a jacket?
I didn't have to buy anything. They provided everything to me. But
did you have to give that up?
I just left. I don't.
You just left it. Okay, no, that wasn't. I remember when we.
There's a suit that they give us, but the suit is so like secondhand garbage. Oh, it's not secondhand, but it's so like poorly made.
Yeah.
It's this company Spada. And they're terrible.
It's uncomfortable.
It's just poor. It's just poor fabrics. Because I had rips on my pants that so we do in-house like dry cleaning for our suits. Okay. Only for our suits, not for our porter clothes.
Okay.
Because they used to and then they stopped. Of course, cutting corners is
God forbid.
God forbid they help us out with that. Nope, you got to wash your own shit. But the problem with the suits is I have like one good suit. The other suit pants, the button's broken. The other button up I have, the buttons are missing. It's a shit show. So if I in theory put my suit in for dry cleaning, there's no guarantee that I'll have it back for the weekend to wear. So I just at a certain point I just would take it home and wash it with my regular clothes. If it gets fucked up, it gets fucked up. I didn't give a shit.
And so they expected you to wear this while throwing out garbage in fucking 100-degree weather.
Oh no. So I did porter and concierge.
Oh,
so
I see. Okay.
So like Tuesday through Thursday I would do porter and I'd have my porter clothes, which is like nice pair of slacks. Oh, damn, I just realized I left a good pair of slacks that I paid for in that locker.
Yeah, well, consider it a loss. Yeah, you win some, you lose some.
I took everything else. But anyways, yeah, like a nice pair of khakis. It was just like a button, not a button up, but like your standard porter, like uniform type
Okay.
shirt.
Okay.
So that they gave us a few of those, which is good. I had a bunch of those because I did mostly porter anyway. But for Friday, Saturday, we'd have the monkey suit, the full suit.
Right, look like a mechanic
Yeah.
sort of thing. Yeah.
But then on the weekends, it would be as everybody told me, I looked like a Hasidic Jew because it's black pants, a blazer, like a black blazer, and then a white shirt, and then with the length of my beard, I
Wait,
got
so
called
you wore a jacket with a vest and then the white shirt?
Yeah.
You weren't fucking dying?
Not really.
No.
There was a few occasions, yeah, but like typically,
Because the building was usually air conditioned.
yeah.
Okay, all
We've
right.
we've had many issues where it's not been working, or it's been up and or it's been down, or blah 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 blah. But for the most part,
It's
comfortable
fine.
enough.
Yeah.
Worst case, I throw off my jacket.
Mhm.
In the last winter, though, it was bullshit because it was freezing in the front. Because there's like 4 giant glass doors, and for whatever reason, the heat was not working in the front. So I was at the front desk in my blazer, my layers, and I had my jacket and a hat on.
Jeez.
So that's how cold it was at the desk.
Rich people. But anyway.
Fucking rich schmucks. So anyways, it rolls around to like 10 o'clock. He's still not texting me. He stopped texting me. He pretty much says that I have no choice but to stay. And from that, I took that as, as the wise Michael Jordan said in The Last Dance, and I took that personally. I want to make it clear, though, this isn't the reason I quit. This was just the icing on the cake. That was like,
Right.
It's either I leave now or I leave. I don't do the overtime, and then they jam me up. Literally, they
Right.
like they did to the previous employee who got suspended for leaving an hour early after saying he didn't feel good.
He got suspended?
They sent him.
Jeez.
If you leave, you will be suspended indefinitely. I know there's a little back and forth between him and the boss because he was leaving early to like play soccer and shit, but he would tell the boss, "I'm leaving early," blah 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 blah. And then when he finally said it for being sick, the boss said, "No, enough's enough. You're not leaving. If you leave, you are suspended indefinitely," which they did. So he was out for like a week and a half. So yeah, essentially, after he said that I'm gonna have to forcefully stay, I decided I'm not going to. I'm not gonna be jammed up with leaving and then having to get suspended as they fuck with my money.
Right.
And they fuck with my plan to leave in 2 weeks anyway. So I was like, listen, let me just fucking give them my keys now. Save myself the hassle of having to fight them for a week and only to quit a week after.
Right.
So I finished my shift. I gathered up my bag like a knapsack. All I needed was like a broomstick to hold it over my shoulder. And I told the employees that were working. I left my keys at the desk. I walked halfway home, to which I sent a 1-sentence resignation letter to my 2 bosses.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's such a great to the point.
It's great because I don't know if I sent you the previous. I had a previous resignation letter to Starbucks, and I wanted to be an asshole to the boss, but I was just like, fuck it, let me do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say because I worked there for almost 10 years, so I was like, as many experiences I had, I'd like to move on. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
I appreciate the time I've had in this company, and it's done me well with even providing me with a degree in film, et cetera, et cetera. Effective in 2 weeks is my final day.
Right.
Thank you for your support. Sincerely, Damien. Handed it to the boss that I fucking hated, and I still was respectful to that moment of leaving.
I mean, also considering that was 10 years of your life.
And that's why, like, I wanted to just tell this boss to go fuck himself, the previous boss, the Starbucks boss. But with the company that pretty much done me pretty good for majority of those 9 years, I was like, all right, let me just not burn to this bridge completely. With that being said, I took that entire email, and I just wrote effective immediate. No, I wrote to whom it may concern. This is my resignation, comma, effective immediately.
Yeah.
Sincerely, Damien Brandon Stewart. And I sent that to both bosses, and that was it. That was around 11:30, halfway through my walk home, and that's what they got in their email boxes. And it was just like an elephant decided to get off of my chest. It was just like a, you know.
And so before you left,
Mm-hmm.
because usually you have to hand off keys to the next person.
No, I usually take your keys home.
Oh, you do,
But
I
I left my keys with them, as in I'm done here.
Right,
These
right,
keys are now returned to you. I got everything I need. I'm out the fucking door.
Because based off the note, or like the like what happened that day, I guess whatever
Yeah.
it's called, they said that you abandoned your whatever,
Oh yeah, the
your post. Yeah.
So needless to say, Bob, he was salty as fuck, and he left a big. So we had like a shift log. Pretty much, it's something
Right,
you
okay,
write
okay.
little details of what occurred to you throughout your shift to pass on information rather than just telling them, which we've usually done. The same boss encouraged us to write in the shift log, something he almost never does, something he almost never reads, because we're all like, well, you told us to write in the shift log. We started putting stuff in there. You don't know about this? How would I know about this? You guys don't tell me anything. You told us to use the fucking shift log. Start reading it. You asked us to do this. Follow up on it. I don't read the shift log. I don't have time for that. We have time to stare at the cameras all day. Got it. Jesus. But anyways, he puts a long dragged out note in the shift log saying, concierge Damien decided to abandon his post. He left his keys. He did this. He's like, he is no longer allowed in this building unless,
and that was all in caps,
unless written consent from management.
And you had to be escorted.
And if he does come in, he must be escorted. What makes you think I want to go back? That's the thing. Like, this is the same thing that Evelyn told me at CVS when I quit, because we stole some of the M&M signs for my fuck CVS party. She looked at me and she's out there smoking a cigarette, and it's like I think it's my last week or the couple days in, and she's out there smoking a cigarette. You know, you can never work for this company again. And I just muttered under my breath, I'm like, why would I want to work for this company again? What'd you say? Nothing. Have a good life. So that's how I felt reading that. I'm just like, what in your right mind makes you think I want to come back here? The only thing I'm missing out is like some awesome residents that were phenomenal people, but
right.
The amount of shitheads and the bullshit that like doesn't get focused on in that building, but yet little petty things like that being written in the shift log makes no sense to me. You're going to focus on the guy who quit. That's how I know he was salty. You're going to focus on the guy that quits, not the systemic issues that are literally running this building into the ground.
Well, that takes effort to fix, right?
Yeah. I don't got time for that.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, needless to say, I think that's hands down. I think this is probably one of the better moves you've done in a while.
Oh yeah.
And this was obviously, yes, this is a long time coming, but at the same time, this was,
as I've mentioned before,
needed to come.
Yeah, it was eating away at my mental stability, my both mental, physical, everything. I mean, I can almost guarantee the many issues that have been plaguing my head has been derived from this place. So it felt only like a breath of fresh air when I was like, deuces, motherfuckers. And every employee that has spoken to me, even with that little rag notice that he left in the shift log, I can almost guarantee you if I show up, they're like, hey, what's up, Damien? No, nice to see you, man. Yeah. But, you know, every coworker has only hit me with praise and positivity. Nobody's like, I can't believe you would do this to us.
Right.
The only people that said stuff like that was more in the sense of like, man, we're really going to miss you here, but I understand what you had to do what you had to do. I'm like, damn straight I had to do what I had to do. The saga has ended. This period of bullshit is over.
Obviously, you know this story, but you know how these podcasts go. So,
oh yeah,
you know, my one of my kids had to go to the hospital last week because he got hit with RSV and another virus, and we were in there for 6 days. And one night in particular, he had a really high fever. Yeah, so we had to do like an emergency ice bath and everything. And so,
oh man,
you know, I was very upset. He was, he's fine now, thank God. Yeah. But
it puts this sort of perspective on everything back in your in life, and like what's important, what's not important, what's stressing you, what's not. And it's just like it causes you to like think differently in a more beneficial way to everything.
Oh yeah, it was in that moment. So I basically,
that was when Tom's like, I know a lot's going on in my life, but Damien, you need to quit your job.
No, because what happened was, this was Saturday, right? Okay. Yeah. So my son got discharged on Friday.
Right.
He was doing much better. By Saturday, he was already, because we couldn't get rid of the fever.
Yeah. And that's scary enough.
Yeah.
So.
But they finally gave him amoxicillin. Mm-hmm. It's more of a story, but basically 2 days of amoxicillin, fever dies.
Okay.
That's it. He's done. He's good to go. So when we were talking, I was sitting on my couch and I was just kind of decompressing for the day.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, after what I just went through this week, none of this shit matters anymore. No. Mm-mm. And I was like, and it wasn't an insult to anyone, you know, you included, because we were talking about it at that moment.
No, of course.
It was more of a fact, like, because what I said to Damien is what hopefully whoever's listening agrees, which was that I don't know why we're put on this earth. I don't. Right. I mean, it's too much to think about why, you know?
You could spend a whole fucking night boggling your brain about that.
Yeah, or some people spend their whole lives thinking about it.
Definitely guilty of it at many different points in life.
And that's just human.
Yeah,
I think that's
exactly.
just being human.
Exactly.
But one thing I feel confident in saying is, although I don't have an answer for it, I do think though that I've heard enough times, and I do agree that if you can put a stain on this earth,
yeah,
a shit stain, I like to call it. If you could, because at the end of the day, we all turn to fart, right? You know,
Bingo.
you go into dust and you kind of blow away.
Fart in the wind.
Exactly. So if you can make some sort of mark, no, it's cliche, but literally, if when you pass and somebody says, "Oh fuck," he did or she did something,
yeah,
and they remember you,
yeah,
it's not so much of a legacy.
Right.
As much as it is, but at least you can say...
And it's not even like an ego thing. It's just
just to say you did something.
Yeah. Because we're all specks in the fucking... Like I love when they showed like the galaxy picture.
Oh, yeah, we're nothing.
And it's like, this is how zoom back. You see that speck? That's not even the Earth. That's
exactly.
like... So you're like a speck within the speck within the speck of this tiny modicum of just...
Absolutely.
Carbon.
No, I mean...
So...
Yeah, we're literally fucking dandruff.
Pretty much.
And that's what I told Damien, because you were going back and forth, and I said,
yeah,
this is the time where, while we're still young, like, this is not what you want to do.
No.
And it was never what you wanted to do. And so for the last 13 years, you've dedicated to these two companies where you really didn't progress much. You never really felt happy.
Yeah.
And then after what I went through last week, I was just like, fuck this. Like, really push to do, because what's going to happen is you'll find your footing.
Yeah.
And then you, at least when you get older, you can say, whether to your kids or to whoever, you go, oh, I did this, I did that,
yeah,
I did this.
I was at this point in my life, this is what was going on, and I was willing to take a risk for the sake of my sanity and for the sake of betterment, rather than just standing along and helping some bullshit company keep their wheels oiled, or keep their wheels spinning, I mean.
Yeah. And
shit, I should have been oiling their wheels so they fucking fuck up and crash.
But because I think the one thing that really disturbed me when it was happening, was basically where you sent me the text and the asshole's like, well, you're gonna have to stay, after telling him you had another job. Right. So to me, I was like, let's just say that this quote unquote PA film job, whatever it was, right?
Yeah. What if it was a determining factor of continuation of what is my degree? And if it was the fact, I could have happily worked out a situation between doing both.
Right.
I could have figured out. I mean, if in theory,
well, let's say your call time was 12 and you needed to get there soon after.
Exactly. Actually, I probably couldn't have. That's one of the reasons I quit.
In this situation,
I couldn't embrace it. But yes,
let's just say that was the case, right? Where it was basically you had to leave, and it will give you just enough time to get there, right?
I was even debating, by the way. I was debating saying, listen, man, I've worked out this schedule I was gonna just add to the lie on top. I was like, listen, man, that's a no-go. I've worked out the schedule for 4 weeks. I can't break with my prior engagement. That's gonna be after work. So, but I didn't even bother. I was just like, I'm not texting this guy back. I don't blame
you for not saying that, because it would have just gone into deaf ears.
Yeah, he would have been like, well, I guess you're gonna have to figure it out, and if you leave, I'm gonna suspend you, and blah blah blah. It would have been this. I saw everything from what he texted me. I already saw what was gonna happen.
100%. I can tell you that's exactly probably what he was gonna say.
Yeah.
And then anyway, but that being said, like, that's literally so when someone pigeonholes you like that.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, I can't have a life outside of this because now I'm being forced by other people's issues are now falling into my life, and now I can't do things that I want to do after I've committed my time to here. I want to do my own shit. Now you tell me I can't.
I thought of it simply. What if we were trying to finish the movie and we finally had a schedule, which we've had so many scheduling issues with trying to finish this movie.
Yeah.
What if this was the weekend that we finally had the opportunity to put it together and finally do it? It's like, all right, we got Kedron in place. We got an extra person doing PA. We actually have a little extra space. Yeah. We have a location. We have all our shots. We have everything good to go.
Right.
Oh, fuck, I can't do it, Tom. I'm stuck at work. I looked at it like that. Like, you're willing to, and just I'm reiterating like I said before.
No, please.
You're willing to do this for Ernesto. You're willing to, even Artie, who doesn't have any engagements after work, but you're willing to get people to cover her shift or put the porter at the desk. But no, Damien does it on a weekend. Sorry, got to bring down the hammer on this fucker.
And it was just never going to get better.
No, it was going to be the same vicious cycle over and over again. And the misery would have continued.
So and that's why moving forward, I know you'll find your spot, and wherever it is, I just really hope. I make it sound like I'm driving away, but I'm just hoping that the next thing you find,
I'm gonna put some like end of Fast and the Furious music right here. You're gonna find your fitting, because remember, we is family.
No, I just know, like, because this is it. This is now it's your time. You've bypassed that bullshit now, and now the reason you quit is so you can actually start doing what you've 100%. Always wanted to do. So that's why
I have plans to enjoy myself for about a month,
of course,
and relax, respect myself.
Well, give yourself time, much needed time, and then
get back on all the things I need to.
Yeah,
and then gung ho, let's do this.
Yeah. So changing gear. Oh well, actually, our producer's saying we got to go to commercials. So
we got a commercial.
Yes, we'll be right back. Mommy,
what's wrong, sweetie?
My sinuses are flaring up.
Oh no!
And I think you should check on Debbie, because I sneezed and I think it's all over her now.
I'll get the gun.
It's not gun. I mean, I really think it's a lot of snot, and I think it's time you're gonna have to take it out and sanitize it, because I'm afraid she's gonna get sick.
Well, I better get the gun. Guess it's time to meet your maker, son.
And I knew it was coming, and when I sneezed, I really did try to look away.
Shh. It'll be over soon.
Here it comes again. It's not good, because if they're gonna infect the whole family, you might as well take out the infector.
Do you like to go into work miserable?
Oh, no.
Do you go in every day and expect your life to get worse by the second?
This sounds really bad.
How about having to deal with garbage, condoms, everything you think that could probably give you an STD or a staph infection every week?
How
about getting yelled at by residents who think that they're smarter than you, even though they're dumb as shit and alcoholics?
This sounds really bad.
Well, come on down to the Sky Rises in Williamsburg. We'll make your life more miserable than it needs to be. Shut the fuck up.
Well, welcome back.
We just keep getting, you know what it is? Like, most companies have like the same commercial, like the same ads, but we just keep getting different ones every time, and it's really expanded our brand, you know?
Yeah, I was told that
I support them all, obviously.
Yeah, no, I was wondering about that, and our producer said that based off the content, we're just getting a rotation of different sponsors that I guess they're not hearing it. I'll show the first time. So
exactly. Well, we'll try another 3.
We hope you enjoyed.
Whatever the fuck this was. Yeah. No, we hope you enjoyed our rambling. As always, there is morals and messages to be taken from it. But we won't bore you with rehashing it. You figure that out on your own time.
Yeah, just rewind.
Just fucking listen to it, all right? Jesus Christ, just fucking listen.
Keep listening. We hit 500 downloads. Keep listening.
We did. It only took 30 plus episodes. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's about 30 something episodes.
I'll take it, man.
Whatever. Hey, 500 is not nothing.
It isn't.
I mean,
at least
10% of that is us. But
yeah,
whatever.
I was gonna say 300 listens, but nonetheless,
yeah,
we appreciate the listens.
Yeah.
We'd appreciate some comments, money.
We have the comment box open.
Give us some money.
Oh my God.
I'm not graveling. I'm just unemployed.
Help.
No, by all means, we appreciate y'all listens, and we'll keep bringing you some mowing and commercials too.
Until next time,
peace the fuck out.
Peace out.